everybody? Where's everybody? Oh, there you are. Welcome to the island of beauty and love. Do you have your bottle of waters? Do you have your cameras with you? Because today, let's see how many sites we can visit in Cyprus with one simple click. Well, here we are in the Achilles Baths. We continue our tour in the archaeological park in Paphos. We are talking about 5th century archaeological ruins. Let's go and see more mosaics. Come with me. And here we are in the house of Dionysos. Behind me, you can see fantastic mosaics. And here we are in the 2nd century AD Odeon. Opposite the Odeon, come with me, you can see these fantastic ruins of the ancient agora. This is where they used to buy and sell everything. They used to sell whatever you can imagine. And of course, over this agora and the Odeon, lying on top is the lighthouse. Let's go and find out what this lighthouse is all about. And here we are, the lighthouse. When was this lighthouse built? 1888. By who? The British. Because as we know, Cyprus was under the British Empire at one point in time. What did this lighthouse exactly help? When the ships arrived to Cyprus from Britain, the light will signal that this exact point used to be the port. Of course, the ships will continue around Cyprus and will end up where? In the Suez Canal. So here you have it, the use of the lighthouse, which was built in 1888. Let's continue our journey and let's go and discover where Aphrodite was born. And we have arrived at the Aphrodite's Rock, or else called Petra Turogou. This is the birthplace of Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty and love. And this is where the island has become famous because we're all beautiful and we all love each other. And there you go. Come with me, we don't have enough time. Behind me we can see the castle of King Richard the Lionheart. This is where, according to tradition, he came and married his wife, Queen Berengaria of Navarre in 1191. Let's go inside and see what's it all about. The exact date of construction of this castle is a little bit unknown, but some sources say 1193. But the official sources of construction of this castle is 1228. During the 1500s, there were some dramatic changes going on around this castle. What happened is that, except the fact that we had a number of earthquakes in Cyprus, they were shaking and going and coming and stones were falling over the place. This is why you can see this crazy architecture here. What was interesting is that the Ottomans came also because Cyprus is the island for all people. Once they arrived, they changed the whole structure of the building. And what they did was, they transformed the cellars from wine cellars into prison cellars. Come with me to have a look at how the cellars look. Oh, here you are. So, We can see that this place was transformed into a prison, as we said before. But what is really interesting, except for the tombstones that we can see plastered on the walls, they used to be on the ground, but now we have them on display, is that we can see the foundations of an earlier chapel that used to exist at this exact spot. Because remember, this castle, according to various sources, was built in 1193. But before 1193, at this spot used to be the chapel. And we have arrived at the rooftop, and here we have come at the end of this exciting tour in the Limassol medieval castle. Lots of rich history, lots of drama, but what you should know is that when you're in Cyprus, when you're in Limassol, you should not forget to visit the Limassol medieval castle, because it's a place that you are going to be excited about. Let's go and see what else we're going to discover in Limassol. Here we are in ancient site of Amathunda. Behind me we can see one of the amphoras. Now this is the stone vase, which actually the biggest stone vase in the world made from a single monolith. It is dating 6th century BC. Why? Because at this exact spot, this is where they actually worship the goddess Aphrodite, and as we know, the goddess of beauty and love. This site has been conquered by a number of civilizations. This is why it is dating from the 1100 BC. You can actually feel all of the civilizations, the people. Now this is a place where you have to visit in Limassol. We continue the tour really fast. Here we are in Kolossi Castle. Behind me you can see the castle of the area which is now called Kolossi. Why is it called Kolossi? Because the commander in the area during the early 1200s was named Carinus de Kolos. Let's go and have a look what mysteries lies behind this spectacular castle. This is the entrance of Kolossi Castle. Exactly at the top of this castle we can see 5 small holes. What happened? When the invaders used to arrive at the castle, they used to throw hot oil, charcoal, stone, in order to deter them from entering in the castle. But what are we going to do? We are going to enter the castle, we're going to explore the castle, and we're going to learn more history about this castle. Come with me! During the 1400s, the Grand Commander of the Order of Louis de Magnac, which was the first resident of this castle, used to reside in these specific chambers. What is fascinating is that the traditional secret wine, Kumandaria, comes from the word Kumandari, which were the order living in this castle. Let's explore. Is there anything better enjoying dessert wine, Kumandaria wine, at the top of the Kolossi Castle, enjoying panoramic views? But what is really interesting is that you can enjoy the hot Cyprus weather. Take a panoramic view of the castle. Right about this point, we have reached the end of Kolossi Castle tour. Time for us to visit more attractions. Where else? In the island of Cyprus. Let's go! Here we are in Nomalos village, which dates back from at least the Frankish period. Behind me we can see the monastery of Timiou Stavru of the Holy Cross. Let's go and explore what this village has to offer. The monastery of the Holy Cross is named because right here they have a piece of the robe where Jesus Christ was crucified. Saint Helena brought this robe from Jerusalem. And this is why at this exact spot you can also find a small chapel dedicated to Saint Helena. Don't forget to also visit the museum, which is right next to the small chapel in these premises. And now we're going to head towards Lino's wine press, where we're going to discover how you make wine in the traditional way. Here we are in the traditional wine press. How did they make traditionally wine? Basically, there were two people, or maybe more, and they used to turn this around. What happened was, it created pressure, and the pressure squashed the grapes, which used to be stored right here. The wine will come out, stored in this pithari, and what would happen is then they will keep the wine, well, most likely at this point it was grape juice, but they will store it here. Then we have the fermentation process that will happen throughout the days. And what is fascinating is that this pitharka, this clay pot, would actually keep the temperature of the wine constant, because half of it usually was dug underground in order to prohibit the heat or the cold tampering with the quality of the wine. And this is a major reason why Cyprus is known throughout the world, well, at least in the Mediterranean, for its quality wine products. And what better way to end a day's tour by having a fantastic wine tasting tour? Come with me and we're going to discover what Cyprus has to offer. Cheers! And we have reached at the end of our one-day's tour in Cyprus. And what better way to end the day drinking wine, or maybe your favorite dessert wine, kumandaria. Enjoy not only the sunset, but the panoramic views the island has to offer. Hope to see you next time in person in Cyprus. Lots of love from the island of love, Cyprus.